Hi folks, this is Monte Taylor with Masterful Prospecting, Episode 7. Now if you've been following my master prospecting tips, and I hope that you have, you may recall that I promised to spend some time focusing on how you can easily learn to master the art of handling any objection, question, or concern. Handling objections is an area where many of us get stuck again and again and again. And just know this, I'm absolutely committed to helping you get unstuck if this is a skill you'd really like to learn. Now, in this episode, you're going to learn 3 important concepts and items. Number 1, the deepest principle of human nature. Wouldn't that be a good thing to learn? And 2, AVVIS, a powerful and portable tool. And if you haven't learned this, or internalized AVVIS, you're going to love this tool. It works everywhere, not just in our industry, but in almost all people communications. And number 3, I'm going to show you how to learn AVVIS without spending weeks or months. So let's get started. Number 1, you must understand the following concept in order to master objections handling and even to master people communications. So pay attention. The deepest principle of human nature is the craving to be appreciated. So if that's the case, just learn to speak the language that people want to hear, and they'll pay way more attention to you, they'll listen, and they'll respond. If this is the absolute deepest principle, then, therefore, your first response to any objection, any question, any concern, is your complete, unmitigated, sincere appreciation and gratitude for the person's objection or question, regardless of what it is. Don't pounce, don't get defensive, don't get clever, don't get cute, don't employ a snappy rejoinder or a one-liner, these things that they're teaching on the internet, because they don't work. This is an opportunity to demonstrate your professionalism, your people values, and your character. Let me give you a couple of examples, and I think you'll sense these and you'll feel it. So Bill says, "Whoa, is this network marketing or one of those pyramid things?" Here's a professional response. "Bill, thanks so much for asking. If you don't mind, please tell me what's your experience with network marketing." Here's another example. "Sue, I'm so busy right now, I don't have time for anything else in my life." Here's a great response. "Sue, I hear what you're saying and I understand. Thanks for sharing that. Tell me more about your time constraints and what's going on in your life right now." Here's another example. Alex says, "I don't think I could sell. I'm very uncomfortable selling anything." "Alex, I'm so glad you brought this up. This is an important concern. If you don't mind, please tell me more about some of your concerns with selling." By the way, folks, these are professional responses that will get people to open up and talk to you and tell you what's really going on. So let's meet AVVIS and just walk through it very quickly. This is the second important concept. It's an acronym. Acknowledge, validate, verify, isolate, and solve. And I'm just going to introduce you to AVVIS, and I think you're going to come away not only with a better understanding of this, but how you can really learn this in an hour or 2 of just working with it and studying and getting familiar. So let's recap AVVIS and let me walk you through the acknowledge and validate. This is always your first response to any question or objection. Mary says, "Almost anything." You might answer, "Thank you, Mary. That's a good question. Several others have asked the same thing." Or Jim asks you a question or has a concern. "Jim, I'm so glad you brought that up. That's an important point." You're acknowledging Jim, you're acknowledging Mary, you're validating their question or their concern. By the way, the deepest principle of human nature is the craving to be acknowledged, so just speak their language. Verify. Now, verify is asking thoughtful, non-adversarial questions. This is after you acknowledge and validate. It goes something like this. "Would you tell me more about your experiences with selling? Would you say more about your time constraints? You brought up the question of cost. Is that a concern for you? This is how you verify what's really going on with the person. Let them open up, let them talk about it. And don't get adversarial. Isolate. Very simple. This is just resolving and addressing each concern and ask a question to confirm. This is simple. Here's an example. Alex tells you that he's very concerned that his spouse sound in on this. So you confirm this by isolating it. Alex, is having your spouse's opinion your most important concern? Just ask. Here's another example. Someone brings up the question or the concern of cost. You might say, Mary, other than the small investment we spoke about, is there anything else that's keeping you from getting started tonight? Mary may bring up 2 or 3 things. Just keep isolating those and focus on them one at a time. And don't be adversarial. And finally, in AVVIS, solve. And that's where you narrow each objection to focus on a single solution. For example, someone brings up, Mary, for example, brought up the question of time. And Mary told you that she just had a few hours a week to work on a business, perhaps. And you say, Mary, if I can show you how you can use the 8 to 10 part-time hours you have each week to build a real business with real cash flow, would you like to know the next steps? Isn't that a professional response? You're working with what Mary told you. I promised to tell you how you could learn more of these scripts, and just go to www.montetaylor.com/ninja and you can download it. And of course, if you haven't subscribed, I'd love it if you did. Here's the thing. You can easily become an objections handling ninja with just a little bit of practice. It's so important. This is a portable skill you can use almost anywhere. Once again, folks, this is Monte Taylor, and let's keep finding ways to make prospecting easy.